Live. And I'm the host. This live is welcome to all that would like to attend on the condition that you read the channel description first. It's welcome to all people, regardless of your skin tone, political affiliation, religion. The only thing that's required, if you'd like to participate in this comment section, is to greet everyone peacefully first. And after you type that peaceful greeting, you can type whatever question, comment, concern, statement that you want to type. And I want to say, first and foremost, praise the Most High. Praise the Most High because He gave us all this special day. Today is a special day. It's a special day that I'm not going to take for granted. And I hope if you're watching this now or at a later date, you take that to heart, that message to heart. Today is a special day because it's unique. It's unique unto itself. There'll never be another day like this day. There wasn't a day like this day before it. There's not going to be a day like it after. So do something positive and productive, if you can, for somebody today. And I'm not telling grown people what to do. I just share what works for me. There's a scripture. There's a very old standard of a sound doctrine that I try my best to adhere to. And if everybody would adhere to it, then we would really find the better nature, the better angels of our nature. It's an open topic. I'm going to wait till somebody comes into the comment section. And if nobody participates, by the time I get to my homestead, I'll just simply wish everybody a peaceful day. Try again tomorrow. Well, thank you. If we do decide to stop by this rising, I really don't call it a morning. It's rising. I don't mourn today. There's nothing sad about this day. I'm not going to go into this day with the spirit of sadness, the spirit of depression, with the spirit of hopelessness. You know, that's what people feel when they mourn, or when they're mourning. And shalom, Fullbot, and shalom, Ashish. Thank you for joining the live and greeting everybody peacefully. It's an open topic this AM, so if there's a topic that you'd like to address in a civilized fashion, just type it in the comment section now. That's the format. And I do appreciate you all watching this rising from India. Thank you for joining me today from India, Ashish. I'm in America, well, the United States of America. America's a continent. If I tell you I'm in America, I could be in Mexico. I could be in Colombia. That's America too, believe it or not. But I'm in the United States. And peace and blessings. I hope that you take heed to what I'm saying and do something positive and productive for somebody. Not because they believe the same things you believe or the same color or religion, but because you can. And it's not going to be any detriment to you to do so. You know, if you can help somebody without breaking yourself, then do it. You know, each one teach one. We all help each other. You know, the world be what it's supposed to be. What about Duniki root from? I'm not sure. I'm not. There might be a language barrier, Ashish, but I'm not understanding the question. If you could word it differently, I'll go ahead and address it. And Fullbot, I answered one question, so I have to ask you a question. That's how conversations go. And if you missed it, the working definition of conversation for the purposes of this live is this: conversations are truthful and honest questions and answers using logic to come up with solutions to problems. And that's the working definition for the live. Arguments, debates, wars, that's not what this live is for. It's strictly for the purpose of conversations, conversate about topics that are going on that affect everybody, regardless of where you live in the world. So if Ashish, if you're still there, okay, we'll just go ahead and continue our conversation. I told you I was fairly well. Well, here's my question: how are you, Fullbot? How are you doing this rising? That's the question. How are you? Are you well this morning? Trayvon, please follow the instructions. I'd love to address what you typed, but I won't do that if you're not going to follow the format for the purposes of the live. So if there's something you're trying to prove, greet everybody peacefully first. And I'll go ahead and address what you typed, if you'd like me to. And I'm glad that you're doing good, man. Now you can ask me a question. You said, how old am I? I'm half a century old. I'm half a century. Exactly what half a century old. And in that time on this planet, I've never seen justice produced. I've never seen it. And here's a definition of justice you can use. Justice is the ones that need help the most. The ones that need help the most, they get the most help. And nobody is mistreated for any reason. Yeah, you're good with your math, Fullbot. Correct. Now I get to ask you a question, right? Okay, Fullbot. If you could do something positive and productive for somebody, and they weren't a member of your community, would you do it? I mean, if you could help them and there's no skin off your back, would you do it? Well, I appreciate that. I must be doing something right. Yeah, I'm an old man. But that's my follow-up question. If you could help somebody in a positive, productive manner, positive, productive manner, would you do so? Well, that's a good thing, man. You're in the right place, because I would too. People that they say that hurt people, right? Well, people that help people, help people. People that help people, help people. I don't know. That come off the dome. Well, I just arrived at the homestead, and I want to thank you all for joining me this rising. You could have been anywhere else this rising, but you decided to stay here and stick it out with me, and I appreciate that. To everybody, that decided to watch. Watching's always free. But just remember, for the purposes of the live, if you'd like to type anything in the comment section, you have to first greet everybody in a peaceful manner. It's not, please don't take it personal if I didn't address your questions. I just won't address anybody unless they greet everybody peacefully first. Because, we want to come in peace. We want to leave in peace. I do these lives to clear up any misunderstandings that I might have, or you, the watcher, you, the viewer, might have about my content and how I address topics. Because if you got receipts on how what I'm saying is misinformation, I'm not above correction. So on that note, I want to say, may the Most High bless and keep you. May his countenance be gracious unto you. May the Most High smile on you and give you shalom. That means peace be unto you. And shalom, Trayvon. That's all you had to do. Now, you said that conversate is not a word; it's converse. What I said was conversation. Conversation is a word. Conversation, conversation. And the working definition of a conversation for the purposes of the live is truthful, honest questions and answers using logic to come up with solutions to problems, because arguments, debates, and wars are synonymous. And they're synonymous because in each instance, someone has to be declared a winner and somebody has to be declared a loser. If you have a conversation, everybody involved is a winner because everybody gets a deeper understanding on everybody else. And they learn to respect one another, even though they might not agree with one another. So conversation is what I was saying. I'm, forgive me if I misspoke or if you misheard, but yeah, conversation is what I was saying. And I want to say thank you, Trayvon, for your input, and thank you for following the format and just greeting everybody peacefully before you, type what you want to type. I'm a retired driver. I drove an 18-wheeler for almost 20 years. No, I don't do drugs. I don't do meth. I don't do that. In fact, the business, Ashish, if you want to talk about methamphetamine, it is a drug for neo-Nazis because Hitler came up with methamphetamine. He gave it to his troops during World War II. I have no desire to do meth. I have no will to do it, and that's not something that I'm interested in, nor would I encourage anybody else to be interested in. And thank you for your question. Oh, I'm at the homestead. I'm at my homestead. That's why I'm right now. Yeah, well, stress will kill you quicker than a bullet. And doing that job, it is stressful if you let it be stressful. But then any job is stressful if you let it stress you out. Oh, the Breaking Bad series. Okay, well, I do have a degree in chemistry, but I don't participate in felonious activities, especially felonious activities that take the lives of other people, whether they look like me or not. And meth is a deadly drug. It's a very addictive drug. People get strung out on meth. People lose their families, their homes because of it. They lose their jobs. There's nothing good about methamphetamine, even though it was in a TV show. And a lot of these TV shows that you all watch in India from America, that's not how Americans really live. It's fantasy. They don't really live like that. It's sort of like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg don't do the things that he rap about, because if he did, he'd be in jail. Just like a lot of these rappers that rap about the things that they rap about, they don't actually do those things, Ashish. They don't. As a matter of fact, you name your favorite rapper. If they want me to say it to their face, I'd say it to their face, because that's the truth. They're not selling drugs. They're not pimping women. They're not doing these felonious activities that they rap about. But it puts a negative stereotype on people that look like me that do live in America, and that's a problem. It's a big problem, There is a zombie city, but it's not what you think. It's not what you're thinking. There's a zombie New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Texas or New Mexico. There's a city called, Zombie City, Zombie. But zombies aren't there. Like I said, all of that's fantasy. Like that Breaking Bad thing. That's why conversations are important. And that's really why I do the live. And I really do appreciate your questions and your input, Ashish. And Trayvon says, I have a friend thinking about joining the field. He is skeptical on the road. He is skeptical of the road hours. Yeah, if you have a friend that's thinking about driving trucks, it's job security. It is job security. Fact of business, if I would have known what I know now about trucking when I was younger, I wouldn't have went to college to get a degree in chemistry. I would have just jumped straight into a truck, because it does pay well. But it is stressful because you spend the majority of your time on the road, and you have to work a 14-hour day every day if you're over the road, which is why if your friend's thinking about getting into trucking, if he has a family, I highly encourage that friend to drive local. You don't want to go over the road. Over the road pays a lot of money, but you don't want to go over the road if you have a family, because you're not going to spend time with your family. And don't believe these companies that guarantee you home time, because they don't. I don't care how good they make it sound. They're not going to get you home when you want to be home. You have to fight tooth and nail with all these companies to get you home when you request to be home, because they want to keep you in that truck. They want to keep you in that truck. They want to keep those wheels turning. And there's a phrase in the trucking industry: if the wheels aren't turning, you ain't earning, which means you don't get paid for sleeping. You work a 14-hour day and you get 10 hours of sleep every day. Driving an 18-wheeler is the only job in America where you work over 40 hours, but you do not get paid overtime. But everybody's going to feel that sting. Yeah, Trump set out Project 2025, and that's eliminating overtime for everybody now. So everybody's going to know what it's like to work treacherous hours and be stressed out, in America. In America. The United States of America, I should say. Because America ain't just the United States. A lot of people think that when you say America, it's all red, white, and blue. That's not true. Mexico is America. Canada is America. It's North America. North America, but it's America nonetheless. So we have to get out of these well-dressed lies. That's why I said, it's imperative, if you want to participate in the comment section, to read my channel description first, because I answer a lot of questions on why I'm doing what I'm doing and why the live is formatted the way it is formatted. No, I haven't. I've never visited. Yes, it is. Mexico is America. Mexico sits on the continent of America. Mexico sits on the continent of America. All I have to do is look at a map. A continent is defined as one continuous landmass. And America as a continent is one continuous landmass. Well, it was one continuous landmass until man dug the Panama Canal, separating North, Central, and South America. That's what separates it, the Panama Canal. But that doesn't negate the fact that America is a continent and Mexico is in America. No, it's not. The United States government has nothing to do with Mexico's government. There's two different governments, two different countries. It's just like Africa. When people mention Africa, Africa is a continent. Africa is not a country. There is no country on the planet named Africa. There's a continent named Africa that has different countries, countries, or countries, nations on that continent. So when you say Africa, you're basically talking about one continuous landmass. Just like when you say America, you're talking about one continuous landmass. And all the nations that are on that landmass, they're contained in that in that continent. But the governments are different. The United States does not govern Mexico. And Ashish, I want to ask you some questions because I've answered two, but I haven't asked you any. How old are you, Ashish? Good boy. Go get it. Go get it. How old are you, Ashish? Well, while you're thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Trayvon. Yeah, trucking. Trucking is not for everybody. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a job. It's a lifestyle. And it's not for everybody. But one thing it does is give you job security. Don't believe me? Everything comes off of an 18-wheeler. Everything. You name it, if it's in your house, even in India. Yeah, it all comes off of a truck. And you can talk about railways, but you don't see railroad tracks, pull up to a Walmart. You won't see that. An 18-wheeler has to bring the product to the store. Yeah, everything from canoes, riding lawnmowers, food, cars, the gas that goes in the car, it comes on a 18-wheeler first. So it's a very important profession. I hate what this country has done to my profession. But nonetheless, they know if trucks stop in this nation, in this country, that the nation don't stop. If every 18-wheeler decided to pop their brakes, yeah, there would be anarchy in 3 days because all the stores would run out of food. All the gas stations would be out of gas. You wouldn't be able to buy anything because there would be no things for you to buy if it wasn't for what they call truck drivers. Fact of business. You asked me earlier, Trayvon, if it stressed me out. Yeah, it stressed me out so much that I stopped calling myself a truck driver. There's an old standard that I always go to when I do these lives. It's called the Bible, the Holy Bible. And it helped me. It helped me. All those years I was on the road. It was just me, the steering wheel, and the dashboard, and the windshield. Meditating on what's in that book helped me, pulled me out of a lot of situations where I don't know how I would have made it out. That's how I know there's a higher power. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. I feel like Rip Van Winkle. And this is a good way of putting it because I was over the road for a very long time before I got my own truck. And then I drove for a few years and retired. So, yeah. I missed a lot of birthdays, a lot of parties. I missed a lot. Getting people what they needed and what they wanted. Yeah. And that standard, yeah, says, what would it gain a man to have all the riches in the world and lose his soul? That's why I said, I got to hang it up. I got kids. Not kids, I have children because they're not goats. I have children. And it's important for me to be at home with them, especially the way the world is going and the way things are going in the United States. I need to be home with my children. And I do appreciate you all for joining. I've been to Mexico. Yeah, I've been to Mexico several times. I've been south of Mexico too. It's okay. I didn't experience. It's racist all over the world, but it's not like it is in America. It's not as racist in Mexico as it is in America. I can't say now because the attitudes that the government of America has towards Mexican people. They don't like Mexican people. Matter of fact, they don't like anybody that isn't what you call white. They don't. The government of the United States. If you're not what they consider white, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time in this country. If you're born here in my skin, if you're born here in my skin, and you happen to know your ancestors and where you come from, yeah, they give you a hard time in this nation. They call it the United States. If you don't believe me, Ashish, just come to the States. You'll see. You will see. And since the election, racism, it's really running rampant. And it's a virus. It's a disease that affects the majority of people in America of all skin tones, not just the white ones, all skin tones. It affects everybody. And until a disease comes along and does to racism what racism has done to us, yeah, it's going to keep going. And I pray that a virus comes along and wipes out that virus known as racism. That's really why I do this too. Well, I want to say thank you for joining. Likes are appreciated but never required. Follows are appreciated but never required. Shares. If you think somebody might get something from this live, it's appreciated but not required. The only thing that's required is that you read my channel description. If it's something that you're interested in, then check out my content and research what I'm talking about. Don't just believe it because I'm saying it. Believe it because I said it. You researched it for yourself and you find out that there's no misinformation in what I'm saying. And on that note, I want to say, may the Most High bless and keep you. May his kindness be gracious unto you. May the Most High bless you and grant you shalom. That means peace be unto you. I'm the Mad Trucker. Thank you for attending. And prayerfully, I'll see you next rising. Shalom.